Let's be real here. Food cravings are the ultimate test of self-control. I know we've all been there when we've had a delicious lunch, but all of a sudden we get a little whisper from the brain, where is the chocolate? Or you're scrolling Instagram and all of a sudden, bam, you want a big piece of pizza with a side of pasta and it is 10 o'clock at night, and then you end up going down to the pantry and having a bag of chips. Inevitably, it happens. If that sounds like you, stick around because I have been there too, but I have also learned tips over the years for stopping and controlling cravings while still also indulging and enjoying all of the foods that we know and love. Because here is the real deal. You do not need to live off of plain salads and loser chicken or give up the food that you love to feel good and to keep your results. Food really should feel like a joy and absolutely not like a battle. And today I am going to break down my top tips when it comes to stopping cravings while staying true to your foodie heart. Let's jump into it. Before we dive into our tips, let's just take a really quick moment to understand what are cravings, why do they happen, and how do they have so much freaking power over all of us. A lot of the time, cravings are a physical response, an emotional response, and they can even be a habitual practice that we have built up and created over time, aka a really bad habit. The trick truly is to start noticing the patterns. Are you getting those cravings at night? Are you getting them in the morning? Are you getting them after scrolling social media? Start to take note, write them down so that you can identify the triggers and begin to work towards creating healthier boundaries for yourself so you are not constantly getting cravings. Okay, here is tip number 1. Find healthy swaps that actually work. Let's talk about cravings in action. What happens when those cravings hit? Do you ignore them? Do you try to fight against them and resist? No. Do not do that because that will actually make your craving worse. You know that saying, what we resist persists? That is very, very true, especially when it comes to craving that sweet or salty treat. Instead, I'm all about creating healthier alternatives that still feel indulgent. I don't know if you know this, but I have hundreds of healthy recipes on my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. Check it out. I am constantly finding healthier alternatives from brownies, cookies, cakes, to different types of breads, literally everything. And it is all free and available for you on all of my different social platforms. These are really great examples of creating and baking and making healthier alternatives that are still really satisfying, but are nourishing as well for the body because most of them are minimal ingredients, whole food sourced, zero refined sugar, and that is all you need. I also have a YouTube video where I shared my 10 go-to healthy snacks that are all packaged. So if you don't have the time to make or bake something, you can go to the grocery store and you don't need to buy Doritos. You can find a healthy popcorn with minimal ingredients that is low calorie that I promise will do the trick. But it's about finding the healthy swaps that actually work for you and being creative with it. It can be fun. I never used to like baking or making things, but once I started, I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. I also love making healthy food for my family, for my boyfriend, for my friends to eat and enjoy and to still feel good after. So find those healthy swaps, find healthier alternatives, whether you're buying them or making them, and have those be your go-to treats majority of the time when the cravings hit. I didn't say all of the time, but we are aiming for majority of the time. Moving on to tip number 2, understanding the power and the importance of a balanced meal. A lot of the times, cravings tend to sneak in when your meals are not keeping you full. Now, if you are an avid listener of my YouTube channel, you will know that I talk about the importance of a balanced meal, having a high protein diet. I also sprinkle in other tips and tricks when it comes to staying satiated throughout the day, staying fuller for longer, longer. And I promise you, having substantial balanced meals is going to be your secret weapon. A plate in front of you with protein, carbs, fat, and fiber is not only going to stabilize your blood sugar, but it's also going to regulate your energy levels throughout the day. And when your blood sugar is stable, you are far less likely to raid your kitchen cabinets and pantries after a meal. For example, at breakfast, instead of a black coffee with 2 eggs, try to make a protein or collagen latte. Again, I have another YouTube video where I share 5 of my favorite hot and cozy easy drinks that incorporate collagen, protein, all of the things. Just with a collagen latte, which I have every single morning, gives you 10 grams of protein with your breakfast. But with that, think about having half of an avocado, having a piece of sourdough toast, good for the gut, having 2 to 3 eggs instead, maybe a side of turkey bacon, or if you're having something like oatmeal, adding protein powder or egg whites to it, adding fiber with fruit, adding fat with peanut butter. Whatever your breakfast looks like, try to supersize it in a balanced whole food way. A couple years ago, I went through a major oatmeal kick, but I essentially was just having oats with berries and maybe some almond or peanut butter. And I started noticing that I wasn't staying full. I was really, really hungry only 1 to 2 hours after making my breakfast. And then this is around the time where we all together collectively started learning about the importance of a high protein diet. And that's when I added in my egg whites. I started to have a side of turkey bacon, and literally like that, I started staying so much more full and was able to get to lunch without needing or wanting a snack or something sweet or even another meal, because there were a lot of days where I was eating unnecessarily just so that I was staying full until lunch. Big no-no. So if you are currently not having balanced meals, if you are currently also not focusing on a high protein diet, start there. I promise you that will be a complete game changer. You will limit so many of your cravings, and you will be calling me or commenting below thanking me for this pro tip, because I wish more of society and more of the general public knew this information, because it can completely change your relationship with food and snacking. Tip number 3, which I believe is a super simple habit that you can start incorporating today, is staying hydrated. The body very often confuses thirst with hunger because the same part of the brain regulates both. And if you are not adequately hydrated, you may confuse thirst signals for food cravings, which we absolutely do not want. We do not need to be consuming any extra calories for no good reason, especially if what our body actually wants is water. A lot of the times, a big cup of water will absolutely do the trick. Another thing that I really do love to incorporate for myself every single day is having electrolytes. I was actually just telling a friend this the other day because she is trying to lose weight and figure out how to not eat so much. And I literally told her it may just be because you are thirsty. So try incorporating electrolytes. Electrolytes have certain minerals like magnesium and potassium and sodium that will actually hydrate the body, because a lot of the times the water that we are drinking is not actually properly hydrating us. This is why the quality of your water is really important. Not only will it hydrate you, which can help keep you full, but the electrolytes that I take generally have elements. They are flavored, so it also kind of gives me that sugar kick without actually having sugar, like a little something sweet throughout the day. Sometimes in the afternoon, like I actually started craving that. I'm like, okay, instead of having 2 cookies, I'm just gonna have a big cup of water with electrolytes, and it's going to push me on until dinner. I satisfy a craving. I don't consume extra calories for no reason because I wasn't even actually hungry in the first place. So that's a good little tip and trick to try. My friend did tell me that that has also been helping her, so try incorporating electrolytes if you have not already. Drinking water before or after a meal can help fill your stomach, reducing the chances of overeating or snacking later. Again, this is why I said that it's something that you can start incorporating today. Take a glass of water, put some water in it, drink it, eat your meal, or do the same thing, but after. I wouldn't recommend during because our bodies have a hard time digesting liquid and food all at the same time. And watch your cravings start to deplete. It's pretty easy. This sensation of fullness sends signals to your brain, signaling that you are now full, and this will help reduce cravings. I love it. Now I'm gonna have some water myself. Okay, my final tip for all of you, and this may seem really simple and easy, but you might just need that reminder from me, which is creating a craving-free environment. Let me tell you, if my pantry was filled with Oreos and croissants and, I don't know, I had pizza pockets in the freezer, fruit roll-ups, Dunkaroos, I would be eating those every single day, but I make very mindful and smart choices when I am grocery shopping. I make sure not to have junk food in my home readily available because I know that I will obviously naturally eat it. Again, this goes back to snacking smart and making the healthiest choices the easiest choices. I promise you, it's only logic that if you stop buying it, you will stop eating it. How smart! Again, it is not about depriving yourself. It is not about never having the delicious, yummy, and scrumptious snacks that you truly do enjoy. It's about balancing it all out, limiting it, and also reducing the cravings. We are smart when our minds know that those bag of Doritos are in our pantry. You're probably going to start thinking about it, craving it, and you're not going to be able to stop either of those two things until you go and eat some, or the whole bag, which for me is generally what happens. Once you have one, I don't know how people stop. So have that little stash maybe somewhere hidden, out of sight, out of mind, but the majority of your pantries should be filled with whole food, nourishing snacks that are good for you choices and that you can indulge and eat every single day and do it guilt-free. So there you have it, simple and practical ways to stop the food cravings while still enjoying every delicious bite of the foods that you are choosing. Remember, cravings are not the enemy. They are just signals that our bodies are sending us. The goal is not perfection, it is balance. We are all different and we need to find what works for us. What works for you is going to be different for what works for me. So begin to be more mindful, listen to your signals, listen to what your body is telling you, listen to what is triggering you, and find the solutions that work best for you. And the best part is that the more consistent you are with your choices, the more that these cravings will start to lose a little bit of grip. If you have your own tips or your go-to favorite healthy snack swaps, please comment them below. Let us all know. I love learning new things and also finding out what works for all of you. Thank you so much for watching, listening today. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and make sure to check out my latest video here. Bye, guys.